What's up, everybody? It's the boy Don VENO.
JC00.
You in the mix with the Suicide Podcast. Now, we here to recap a lot of situations that have been going on the past week in hip hop and other news. But we are a hip hop centric podcast. It's the culture, baby. How you feel about that?
I feel like we pushing it forward.
By the way, how was your week?
It was good. What's the date anyway? Actually,
Nah, I'll never know the date. What is today? What's today, y'all? By the way,
the date is.
Man, it's the first day of the first episode of Suicide, dog. Whatever day it is, it's the most important day of the year. Goddammit.
The most important day in your life. Let me check my cell. Right now, it's the 18th. It's Wednesday. November 18th.
Hey, you know, Jangle out. When you said check your cell,
2020.
I thought you were still hustling. I felt like I literally was like, did he just take a serve? It's episode 1. I understand we're still in the trap, but I
don't know what he's talking about. I'm a student of society, and I'm right here. That's where I'm at.
Yeah, some of us learned.
That's where I'm at.
Trap University.
But anyway, you want to touch on anything that
we have a lot going on.
Anything that happened this week?
I would say this though. Let's start off by showing some respects because RP rappers King Von and Mo 3 today. Shout out to their people, their families, loved ones. Hope they getting through it. Well wishes. I think Boosie and Benny the Butcher.
I heard about that.
They both got shot in Texas. I don't think they was together, but it happened in the same state.
Yeah. I heard Boosie was first.
Texas. They love guns out there. Like, you can carry your gun out there. Like, you don't go to places like, you don't go to states that are known for cowboys and shit.
Okay.
They don't have your security right. Like,
hello?
They carry guns on them in public.
I know, right?
Like, they pump gas with their pistol like this.
Come on, that's one of them good old boy states, man. And the brothers down there getting off too, so.
Another shout out to that, by the way. Georgia is a Democratic state this year. All right. It's not a good old boy state, at least for the next 4 years.
At least for the next 4 years, baby.
It took a long ass time for that shit to take place. That shit was like 100 years old. You know?
Okay. And listen, I really didn't understand how long they've been a red state.
Right, that shit was bogus.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah. I didn't really understand what was at stake on the line. So I'm like, whoa, they've been red since what? Since 96? Since my dog Bill Clinton. Shout out to Bill. This toe for you.
That's crazy. That's that long ago.
But I ain't fucking with that bill that he had passed. But anyway, we gonna leave that alone.
The Joe Biden bill? No, that was before him.
That was before him. That was in '96. That when everything was.
Yeah.
It was. You know what I'm saying? It was.
We ain't gonna get into politics. But did you vote? Did you vote as election day did pass?
I ain't gonna cap. I did not.
You still voted. I voted. We all voted.
I voted mentally. Mentally, I voted.
No, you went there. I saw you there. We was in line together. They gave us.
Bro, you didn't see me.
I worked over there.
You did not.
I ain't even go.
Folks, he did not see me. But
I like the spirit. We do want to get to a lot of shit that's going on in hip hop. So, Benny the Butcher dropped the album a few weeks ago. I've been listening to it. Have you heard it?
I have not, but I'm gonna tell you. I'm aware who Benny the Butcher is.
Yeah,
you know, I know he's a New York artist, and my first interaction was with him on Jim Jones El Capo CD. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to El Capo who dropped that last year.
Him and this whole camp though. A lot of people they caught a wave that's like they got a pocket that only them that they only fit in. Because they got OG love, like they got all the OGs in hip hop loving them.
Pause. Is one of his partners Conway?
Yeah.
Okay.
Griselda. Griselda Records is what they
they all was on the Jim Jones joint.
Oh, okay.
That's what I'm saying. So you know that was my interaction. But yeah,
you gotta hit it. He got this shit with Lil Wayne called Timeless. I played you a snippet.
You did. I was digging what I heard.
Fire.
I got them old school pause. I got them old school New York feels. You know what I'm saying? The New York.
I don't even have them feels. Like I would never say I got an old school New York.
When I say
I'm not from there, but old school hip hop, you gotta say that you have a vibe from there, just because a lot of the shit that I like is a lot of, like, you know, like in Hove and all that shit.
It's basically what you saying. Well, basically what we both saying. That's good music.
Yeah, definitely.
That was the time for good music. And
growing up, who was your favorite artist?
Ooh, my favorite artist growing up. I got a few favorite artists, but shoot, off the top, I'm gonna go with Busta Rhymes. Busta was my
first. I probably heard somebody say
Busta was my
get enough, I don't think
favorite.
Busta get enough credit as being.
Shout out to Busta
Yeah, shout out to
Rhymes.
Busta Rhymes. He also just dropped the album, I believe. Extinction Level Event 2.
Get it right.
Yeah.
Extinction Level.
He not paying me for that shit. So if I said it wrong, goddamn it. Shout out to Busta Rhymes. Please pay us though, so we can get some money. We're not complaining. And we have a better delivery. Right now, take it how it is. Raw and uncut, baby.
Doors through society, baby.
Word. So look, you do music. So me knowing you we met about just over a year ago, and I've watched you go from just a dude that I met to, you always told me that you made music, but I've watched you really build from always wanted to be an aspiring rapper to show me that videos you made, you had momentum, it stopped, you picked it back up. But then you did something very interesting to me. You said, fuck it. Instead of me trying to always get noticed, I'm going to launch my own label. What led up to all this shit? For people that got to understand, because it's a lot of people think they got to always go out there and get signed, or they need a co-sign. And you have a lot of artists out here that are entrepreneurs, but they're always looking for a deal too. Like, you said, fuck all that. I'm just going to fund everything in my damn self. That's so right. Walk some of the viewers into that, because they are these who I know.
It's always been trial and error. I'm always, had this vision that somebody would, come sign me and save me.
Right.
In a perfect world, but it doesn't happen like that. And with everything that's been do it yourself, it's been all in front of you. Mm-hmm. It's like, what's the need of a record label? Basically, the record label is just a bank,
Right.
So,
right a lot of people really do not know that. I know it's known out here, but it's still a lot of people who don't understand it.
I mean, yeah, they like the bank. They like the bank. They like the plug. You know what I'm saying? They like, the loan shark, basically.
Yeah, but you on with a plug, he'll chase you down. They'll shelf your ass.
Real.
But go ahead though. I want to really let you finish.
But nah, I mean, it was just trial and error, and coming to the realization that I needed to make a foundation that I could have my own platform.
Right.
Because I've come across so much talent myself, and I see talent, and I see the things that I put in. I see things that they're not doing, and I feel like I could help people.
Yeah.
So that's why I did it. That's why I did it.
That's what's up.
And it wasn't as hard as I thought. I thought it would be starting it. I don't want to get too deep.
Right.
Just excited about it.
I understand that too. People. Like even with this though, like we've been talking about this shit for a long time. I mean, I used to have this vision, bro, like years ago. I used to call people late. Anybody that knows me out there, they know I be calling them late as hell. But I was literally telling people that I was gonna do this years ago.
I understand.
And you know how I go on the phone with them, there's show love, like do that shit, that's what's up. But I know they was like, hang on, this motherfucker ain't gonna do this shit ever. So now it's official, it's here to say it's been the same name all the time. And I give shots to everybody who do everything, start to finish themselves. But what I did was I was able to find a partner and a personality that I know we can bounce off one another so well. So I know that's what my dream was. Second thing is that this platform, we try and develop this podcast to actually showcase a lot of other small business owners out there. A lot of people started businesses this year because of all the pandemic shit.
Of course. And
I know everybody, and I'm shout to L there on the ground. I want to be able to have those kind of owners, business owners come in and be able to talk to them and have those type of guests and let them promote their own self. You know what I'm saying? Everybody want to reach out to big names and all that. If they fuck with us, that's great. But I want to shout out to people that's getting out the mud and people that's taking that step. You know what I'm saying? Like even for the kids, because at the crib, our kids help us. Goddamn it. You know what I'm saying? So and yours too. You take yours on all of your son. You let him you show him how to do all the technical shit with the laptop and setting up microphones and all that. So
recording, cameras, all of that stuff.
Yeah. That shit is important because it ain't just going to school and make it to high school, get a diploma, and then ask yourself what the fuck you doing after that.
Yeah, you really gotta have some skills out here. You know what I'm saying? There's people with degrees. You know what I'm saying? There's people with college degrees who are janitors.
Yeah, for real.
You know, who have jobs who don't even require college degree.
Yeah. I ain't gonna front though. I ain't gonna never tell my son it's okay to be a janitor. It's okay to be a janitor if that's what you gotta do. But what you do is you make sure that you don't end up in a situation in life where that's what you gotta be. But you can't disrespect nobody who is a janitor because their job important. Like they work in some of the most important buildings in the world, which is schools.
I understand.
They work in court. I don't consider court. Courts are important as long as you're getting off the charge.
Hello.
But or if you're getting some money in a lawsuit or something. But federal buildings and stuff like that, they do their job. So they ain't disrespecting nobody. But I never met a janitor who was happy to be a janitor. You see what I'm saying? When I was in high school and stuff, like you meet them and they'll tell you don't have to end up doing a job like this. You think I want to be a janitor? So I ain't disrespecting nobody. Hopefully I'm not.
Yeah. I mean, everybody who I came in contact with, you know what I'm saying, they was always mellow and, you know what I'm saying, and a job was a job and I always had respect, you know what I'm saying, I always had respect for them, you know what I'm saying. I seen people, being disrespectful, but it's just one of them things, you just have to sit back and who raised you, you know what I mean?
Right. And that's true, like hip hop, that's why I always wanted to have my own kind of show where I can speak my mind, have my opinion. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like hip hop raised us like a motherfucker. Like I don't understand what's going on in the world today with all this.
We flock to.
Yeah, hip hop always had a history of violence, right? But the thing was, hip hop raised me to a point where, and I don't know if you agree with this or how you feel, but it was like this: the hustlers is what you wanted to be like. You didn't really have to try to sell drugs like that or whatever, but you wanted to be able to brag about making money, as opposed to
about having.
Right, as opposed to being the person buying the drugs. Even though drug use has been around in hip hop forever, but it's like it feels like at one point, I don't know when it changed, but I, influential artists like the Gucci Mane, who's actually about to do something real iconic coming up in a few days. Wayne and them, they started to rap about being open about, 3 6 Mafia did it, UGK did it, being open about the drugs of choice that they use. 2 Chainz does it, but I felt like what they kind of forget is that as many people that come from environments as they come from will already know about that stuff. But it's kids that don't come from that like those artists that end up flipping the script in their own life and getting on that shit. Whether it's the lean or pills or you know what I'm saying? But the way hip hop raised me was like, bro, you ain't gonna ever, you popping bottles at most and smoking some weed. You feel me? And you smoking, the more rich you get, the better weed you smoke. The more expensive bottles you get. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Now, not for nothing, the violence has always been around hip hop because a lot of people who turn to hip hop to get out of a situation come from violent kind of environments or backgrounds.
Well, pause. Mm-hmm. It's like people got it twisted. Like it's always been not that they're violent. They have been products of the environment, and they had to. You had to be a warrior. You know what I'm saying? In those types of environments,
right?
You know what I'm saying? So, you know what I'm saying? Once they found music as an outlet,
right?
And you start, getting rewards from those, because a lot of people in the early 90s, they really wasn't getting money off hip hop. They was getting signed and things they was getting rich.
I know them R&B motherfuckers was getting rich as a bitch though.
Yeah, the R&B cats.
They was getting rich as a motherfucker.
The R&B cats, you know.
Did you back pause? Hold on, sidebar. Did you know that Keith Sweat is a gangster? That motherfucker was whooping niggas' ass and then singing to their girlfriends.
I didn't know.
With the last name Sweat. But go ahead. That shit popped in my
I mean, I'm saying the R&B.
It was the 90s, you know what I
mean? I mean, hey, it wasn't no IG around, so hey, I could believe it.
Yeah.
So I could believe it. But yeah, man, I mean, yeah, they just products of their environment, you know what I'm saying? Back to what I was saying, but I mean, they always, you know what I mean, it could be on the defensive end. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And the violence will follow them because, you know, you're successful. You're the successful rapper.
No, don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. The situation where that's kind of natural to certain people is because of that. But you have situations where it's being influenced. Like, right, if you look at today's world, the kids that listen to the rap now, they will go out and act like these motherfuckers. Like,
understand.
They won't. You know what I'm saying? Like they may not have been raised that way, but they'll form a crew and then become that way because that's how they think that they supposed to be. And it's like, gee, like it ain't natural to commit murder. That's not a natural thought. Like you got to be conditioned into that. Like you get what I'm saying?
Yeah,
you're either conditioned into that or you're not stable mentally. Like you get what I'm saying? Like defending yourself and if somebody dies is more natural. Like, hey. If somebody died, if I had to do that to defend myself, then yeah, but actually waking up saying I'm looking for somebody to kill, that's a conditioned thing. Like you ain't learned. You don't. That ain't just what you naturally think about as a human being. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you're right.
Moving a little out for that because my point really is that I see the change of social media. The influence can go from influencing dudes to just get money and be smooth, to like get money and bust a nigga head, like get money and shoot the fuck out of a nigga. Like you know what I mean? It's like shoot him up, like become a tough guy and then use that to get money. Like that's how it seems nowadays. Now you know I ain't give away my age right now, but I ain't no young dude. I'm not an old nigga, but it's just like. I don't get it. Like I don't understand what the change is. Like if you look at the dudes with King Von, like, and you know, me being from Chicago, I grew up. That's all I was born and raised. I ain't gonna tell everybody where I'm from and nothing, but I'm from the city and I understand like the cloth. I feel like I have a fair understanding about the cloth that he come from.
Straight up.
He passed away doing what he. But he passed away kind of doing what he would do in any other
way he was conditioned. He was conditioned.
And the craziest thing is after they died, that's when it because it hurt. Because he's like, damn, he was. Because I know from where I'm from, he was like blowing. So I can only imagine. I know how much fans they be having on Instagram and shit. So if you blowing in that city, you blowing. So it's like, damn.
Popping.
You know. But the other guy whose crew was involved, Quando Rondo, he's also going to come up. So it's like, now they both, like, he gone, and then, but this dude now is in a situation. You see what I'm saying? Like, it's like, so does rap beef.
Delicate situation.
Like, when rappers beef, do you think they beefing as rappers, or do you think it's, like, personal? Are they beefing as men? Or are they beefing as like on some rap shit? Like, do you think that they do it because they rappers? That's a better question.
Man, I feel like it's your manhood. At the same time, you got it mixed in with a persona.
Yeah.
That everybody has their eye on publicly. So you feel.
Do you think that they even like, catch that? Like, do they figure out that like you a public figure now? Like, or do you think it's just they're so used to being it now? Like they, or do you think they know it? Or do you think they just like to them they grew up with Instagram, so like Instagram is normal to them? You see what I'm saying?
I mean, yeah, a lot of that stuff it's normal, yeah. I mean, so you kind of gotta understand how they thinking. So I mean, yeah, I can't agree with what you're saying.
Yeah, it's a sad situation, but something else. 2 Chainz dropped the album, which was surprising. I don't.
That came out of nowhere.
Yeah, it's normally he does like a whole campaign, So
I saw a couple people posting on the gram.
Yeah. And he called it. I think he's called it "So Help Me God," which is 2 Chainz. If people don't understand, 2 Chainz does a lot of money references. That's on U.S. currency. Mm-hmm. But he never did it on the album. He does it in all of his songs, but he actually put, I think who was the last person ever done it before? Anybody ever done it before?
I'm trying to think. I mean, something as a phrase like that. I mean,
we're
talking about phrases
on the album, like the album title, like titling the album off a phrase from like the dollar bill, like. I can't think. I know. Dipset had symbols. You know what I mean? Yeah, I think even Lloyd Banks on like "Hunger for More" had like some bills on the cover, but if I'm wrong, people can fact check me. I'm not an expert in rappers' lives. I'm an expert in learning my version of hip hop. But but too, like you said though, being the dude who rap, you where you from, it get thick down there, right? So.
Oh yeah.
So for people who don't know, where you from. You can tell them.
I'm from VENO.
Shout out to my son, by the way, who just had to announce his presence and whisper across the podcast. But when we said our kids be involved, we're not lying. We go edit his ass out though. He ain't gonna get paid today. But no, back to so let me know where you from. You from Georgia, but where you from?
I'm from South Georgia, at Austin.
Right.
I mean, bottom of the map, Lowndes County.
Right.
I'm saying, it's growing up. I mean, it was mellow. You know what I mean? Growing up mellow. You know what I mean? A couple people.
Nah, it get thick on there. Y'all niggas made the news recently. Was it last year? This year?
That was last year.
Some dudes made the bro. I was like, dog. And I hit you up. I was like, bro. But I remember, my reaction was, you told me that, hey, don't get it twisted. It could be country or small down here, but shit happened.
I mean, shit done changed. Shit done changed from you know what I mean, since when I was there coming up, man. You know what I mean? Just like anything, just like I know Chicago probably, you know what I mean, got a little, you know what I mean, fast forward.
Chicago's just different.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So
it's fun though. It's fun. It ain't like that. It ain't bad. It's just that it's more people, so the numbers get. Well, I always felt like Chicago was the same as every other town or city. Period.
It makes sense.
You know what I mean? It's just that when you have higher population, you got even more poor people. You got even more hood people. You got even more.
Yeah, you got more. Yeah.
Yeah. So the numbers is higher. It don't mean that it's a worse place to be than any other place, because I go to small towns. And I be shocked at the level of violence and, you know what I mean, the level of activity there. You be like,
I'm saying, niggas
get into it like that here, and you know for sure they like in Chicago, you get beef with a hood, and you only know like a few people from over there. You get what I'm saying? Even though that hood is like next door, you probably only know the only couple of guys you went to school with, or whoever you actually knew of. It could be somebody from over there you never met that you might get into. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But when you go like smaller places, you know for sure that they know each other. Like, you know for sure. And I be like, nigga, you wipe a nigga out about Austin, nigga. You more gangster in Chicago. I'm just letting you know. Cause I know for a fact you took a bath for him at 3 years old. You know, like, I know for a fact I was their mamas in school. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
I mean, it's a small town. So I mean, yeah, you know what I'm saying. If niggas like got some smoke with you, it's deeply rooted. You know what I'm saying?
But it be real personal. Like, how personal do it get?
It's either deeply rooted or it's a nigga. You know what I'm saying? Who I grew up with. You know what I'm saying? R.I.P. Tater Rock. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. But shout outs to that man, his family. I don't know him, but I do know him, so listen, I'm gonna show respect.
Listen, just like you say on the King Von situation, dog. Homie homie was always down to scrap. You know what I'm saying? Always down to throw them things, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Well, hold on. Let's get it granted. There's some respect to him and his peoples. I never met him. I don't personally know him, but I am from the city, so I just know. I just kind of got a feel for how he was brought up. So yeah, that's my point with that. I ain't trying to say I know the dude, but
I mean, nah. But I'm just saying, but homie, you know what I'm saying, homie. You know what I mean, from Vet Austin, I mean, he was always down to squabble. You know what I'm saying? But long story short, got into it with homie in the club, beat his ass. You know what I'm saying? And then when homie got outside the club, you know what I'm saying, round two in the parking lot, click clack. You know what I'm saying? He laid him out.
Damn.
You know what I'm saying? And the other cat who shot him, he was from like the next county over.
Damn.
You know what I'm saying?
So he wasn't even really from.
Yeah.
So it wasn't about Austin thing, but
it's like
your
it's
town where y'all from. Valdosta is more of the hub, though.
Yeah, we are.
So y'all we're the biggest. Y'all the town.
Yeah, we are the biggest town down south. Like we the shit down there. You know what I'm saying? Right. Motherfuckers gotta come down there to come fuck with us. Right. To come party down there.
Because a lot of it, people love to shit on, and they thought they shitting on, but they love to talk about if you're not from. Like you could be a like for example, there's a rapper from Chicago, but he really got big out of Peoria, Illinois, which is a town a little further south than Chicago. Okay. Probably like 2-3 hours of the drive. You know what I mean? Bet. And he's Montana 300, right? Yeah. He cold as hell. But he from the city. Ended up kind of getting a little older and finishing high school and all that. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna edit that son out too. But all the sons get edited out, by the way. All the sons. I do have a daughter, but I'm hoping that she won't wake up. But if she wake up, I might leave her in it because she's a girl. But the sons, listen, y'all niggas don't matter. However, but when he first was getting well known, and he cold as hell. But when he freaking went on, people was because his name is Montana 300, and you have the Chief Keef movement that kind of happened at the same time.
I'm saying,
but they wanted to a lot of people online. It's really the online stuff. So
I'm saying
because he's from Peoria, basically.
My first interaction was thinking his 300 was
the same.
Come on.
But okay, I think me too. Because I don't know him. But I said, oh, is he? So I was like, yo, if Chief Keef Squad got a rapper like him. You know, it's a rap.
The waves was.
I thought Chicago was next on the map. Like I thought about offices, I did. Like labels was gonna be in Chicago. But when he's
a couple cats made.
When I found out that he was separate, I was like, man, fuck. But sorry, that was the way you said it though.
I mean, I thought
that was a lot of people. That was a lot of people. So I was like, man, I thought that shit was because he rap. You know what I mean? But online, he had to find himself in situations where he had to explain that he's not a part of them. He is from Chicago. It don't matter if you because if you go to Peoria, Illinois, like my pops used to go there a lot. Like that shit is not like softer than Chicago just because it's not as well known as Chicago. I got you. You get what I'm saying? Plus, you got a lot of people that's from Chicago who end up moving out there. So the influence
it's pretty much
dope boys, big time niggas. They get money out the city, they get a position, they dip to a small town, they turn that shit out. Then they have people come in, and then so really them is just extensions of the hub. Like you get what I'm saying?
I got you.
Pretty much, I know Atlanta niggas be living out there. That's my point. Like I know Atlanta dudes, they got aunties out there.
Basically, what you're saying, pretty much the niggas that get off.
Right. But you got an interesting location because y'all also still close to the Florida, like the boundary line. So you have people from both sides. Who might still be in the area.
Facts.
So that changes a lot of dynamic of differences they might come about because it ain't just like a Georgia types of man state. It could be a Florida man state that clash
us being right there, it's like I just feel like we a different type of thoroughbred.
Yeah.
You dig what I'm saying? Because we right there.
I'll take shout outs to giving yourself and your hood props.
I'm just saying, dog. Us being right there, I just feel like
this is what happens, y'all, when you co-host with a nigga who's a rapper. Like, you know,
you shout out to my city, nigga. I just got an A, man.
He brought his rapper shades to the podcast.
Come on.
Even though this is the media. This is the media one.
Dog.
He don't own media shades, y'all. He don't own media shades.
Yeah, listen, dog. Life is bright, you know what I'm saying?
All I own is media
Shining,
shade. I
baby.
just took mine off because I had to look like I'm tough. You know what I'm saying?
I'm just saying, I just don't want them to see my eyes, dog. You know what I mean?
They watch you smoke a blunt. They know they low. It's alright.
We cool, man.
You won't see them coming down, my eyes gotta make the song cry. They gave us no answers, no reasons why they died. It's cause I'm black, I'm better off dead than alive. That's a lie. And if that happened, will my dad be justified?